So here I am with a new lesson. In this video, I'm going to address a very important question which many of my students and their parents ask me. They say, "Ma'am, you ask us to practice English. You tell that language learning is a skill learning, and so you can improve your language by practicing. But how can we practice? We don't have anyone around us to practice with them." So, watch the video to show you a way in which you can practice speaking English anywhere, anytime, any place in the world, all alone, all by yourself. I know a number of people who have studied through English medium, who are very perfect in the grammar rules, who have scored very good marks in their English exam. But when it comes to speaking, when it comes to speaking to a stranger, or when it comes to appearing for an interview, they get so embarrassed, they get nervous, they feel shy, they don't get words to speak in English. In short, they just become dumb. And you know why? Why this happens? Because they have just learned the grammar rules. They have just learned how to read and write, but they never got a chance to practice speaking English. Even in the schools which impart the education through English, a student rarely gets a chance to speak in English with the peers and with the teacher. I don't blame the school system. I don't blame the education system. The reason is the teacher has to complete a certain amount of portion in a certain amount of time. She focuses more on reading, writing, and grammar rules rather than giving the chance to the students to speak. As a result, the student neither gets a chance to speak in the school nor can he practice speaking English at home because in our country, nobody speaks in English at home. That's a fact. Everybody speaks in the mother tongue. Everybody is comfortable speaking in the mother tongue. So, how can a student become confident and fluent speaker of English? Don't worry. Every problem has a solution, and here I'm going to give you the solution. I'll give you such a solution that you will be able to practice English, practice speaking English all by yourself, all alone, anywhere, anytime, anywhere in the world, effortlessly. Are you excited? Yes, I'm too excited to tell you about this. This is the best way of learning to speak English. And what is step one? Listen, listen, listen. Listen to anything that's in English. Listen to a podcast. Listen to TED Talks. Listen to CNN. Listen to BBC. Listen to songs. Listen to the dialogues in the movie. Many audiobooks available. You can just listen. Don't do anything else. Just listen. Keep listening. Allot 1 hour every day for 6 months and just keep listening. Listening is a skill which you have to develop so that you learn how to speak. Because listening is the first step. Listening is the foundation. Listening is the first step how a child learns his mother tongue. You are learning a new language, so why don't you listen? Begin with listening. I'm sure you would have seen a small child when he is just in the first 6 months. First, he will only listen to what his mom says, what his dad says, what his grandparents say, what his aunt says, and then after 6 months, he will start telling some words. Mama, Papa, and do the same thing. Imagine you're a small child, you're learning a new language. That's what you're going to do. You are going to just listen to the podcast. You're going to listen to CNN. You're going to listen to BBC. Anything that's in English, keep listening. What's going to happen if you keep listening? When you keep listening, all the words and phrases spoken by the native speakers will get filled in your brain. You will have lots and lots of vocabulary in your mind, in your brain, which will be eager to come out, pop out of your mouth after 6 months. Remember, you are directly learning from the native speakers. You are listening to the real language. You're not listening to the textbook language. You are not learning English through the textbooks. You are learning English the most natural way, in the most effortless way, in the most fun way. So don't be impatient. Don't think that just after listening 1 month, I should stop listening. Listen a lot for 6 months. And a point to remember, preferably repeat the audios. Listen to the same audios again and again. That's called repetitive deep learning. You keep listening to the same things 2, 3 times. You imbibe the words. You internalize the words. The words and vocabulary becomes yours. You will learn the words, phrases, and the sentences used by the native speakers in their day-to-day conversation. And those things, those words, phrases, and sentences will become a part of you. Listening is the first step to speaking. Step two is speak. Step 1 was listen. Step 2 is speak. Speak. With whom should I speak? I don't have anyone around me to speak English. Again, the same problem. I don't have anyone to practice speaking English. Forget about this problem. I have a solution. I have a quick fix for you. And that is, if you don't have anyone, you have yourself. Speak to yourself. What? Am I crazy that I'll be speaking to myself? People will think I'm mad. No. Let them think you're mad. It's okay, The first step in the process of speaking is speak to yourself, maybe in front of the mirror. Initially, prepare a short speech and then give the speech in front of the mirror. Listen how you're speaking. You listen. Initially, you may find it difficult to speak in front of the mirror, but slowly and gradually, by the end of the first week or sometimes second week, you will find that you are able to speak spontaneously and without any pause. Great achievement. You have become confident and you are speaking in front of the mirror, watching your body language, listening to what you have spoken, and you are confident. You will not find difficult to speak now because your mind is full of native speakers' words, phrases, sentences. You have listened to them for 6 months and everything is there in the mind. Unconsciously, you will be able to use those words and phrases in your speech. Right? There is a saying, what you put inside comes out. You have put in thousands and thousands of words and phrases and sentences in your mind, listening to the native speakers, listening to the podcast, listening to the audiobooks, listening to the news, listening to the songs, watching the English movies. So all those words and phrases will automatically come when you are speaking. You don't require anyone else to speak. You require only you. Right? And you can also do this. You can describe the things when you are doing. For example, you can just say, just now I finished my dinner and now I'm going for a walk. While returning, I'll meet my friend, then we'll talk for a while, and then I'll come back home and I'll complete my homework. Okay? So, whatever you're doing, doesn't matter, you go wrong. Don't bother about grammar rules. According to me, grammar rules are the criminals who stop you from speaking English. Because if you keep thinking about the grammar rules, you can't speak. Forget about grammar rules. You will learn them naturally. When you learnt your mother tongue, you never learned grammar rules in the beginning. Did you? Did you? No. Why should you learn grammar rules now when you're learning a new language? Don't learn. Forget it. Speak to yourself. Speak to yourself without bothering about the grammar rules. I tell you, you are not going to commit mistakes because that sentence pattern has entered your mind. For 6 months, you have listened to the correct English spoken by the native speakers. You know the correct structure of the sentences automatically. Okay? So the second step is speak to yourself. You don't need anyone to speak at this stage. You can speak to yourself, right? So that was the second. Third step is listen and speak. Listen and speak. First step was only listening, second step was only speaking. Now, the third step is listen and speak. You play a podcast or you play an audiobook and then you play it for 5 minutes and then you pause it. After the pause, you try to imitate the speaker. You try to imitate the pronunciation, you try to imitate the way he's speaking, you try to imitate exactly he is pronouncing the words and phrases so that